Okay, I'm back. So here we have part 2 of the Voltron figure review. So here we have almost combined or half combined going on here. So just wanted to show you guys how the connection works on these figures. So once again, I already changed the blue line into its leg mode, green line into its arm mode, and the rest already combined. So since it's having a hard time standing on its own, let me just start with the leg. So the way, now depending on like what brand or what company made the figure, they always like have a different style of connecting the leg. Now when I was a kid, I actually did, living in the United States when I was a kid, I actually did own the Voltron toy, and based on my memory, the way how it worked, that for that toy is that you straighten out the legs and then you plug into the leg inside the leg, so there would be a hole here. But in this case, the way how this works is that you can see there are these two pegs here on outside, and then there's a slot there. So all you need to do is just slide it in there, and it'll have a very, I don't know how this works, but it has a very, very firm connection. And there you go, you have the legs connected. Make sure the claws are also like flat to the ground, so that you have better, you better way of standing on its own. And then for the green line, it's just pretty much simple. You have this peg, and there is a hole there. You just need to connect it, and it's a very, it's a very long peg. So I think this was intended as well to, go in as deep as possible, so it would have a firm connection. And there you go, you have the combined Voltron form. Now, now I don't own many Voltron figures. Actually, I don't own anymore actually. So it's been like years since I owned a Voltron figure. Anything that was from my childhood is gone at this point. So I'm pretty sure, because this is a non-licensed product, there's gotta be something that's off or wrong about this figure. Other than the proportions, there's gotta be design-wise or symbol-wise, or maybe color combination-wise. There's going to be a different area to, avoid copyright issues, as far as I understood these. Anyway, so now we have the combined form. Let's look at its articulation and then see how much it changed compared to the regular lines here. So here we have the face going on here. The way how the face works is that you pull down the face, and then there's a small peg that you connect to the lower mouth of the Black Lion's mouth. I'm not sure why my camera's having so much hard time focusing on the face, but once again, yeah, and then which is why the face is going to be stuck there for a while. And then yeah, so headwise can go all the way up. Well, that's because of the line. So upwise, no problem there. Downwards, not so much. And then 360, originally it was possible, but now with the mouse down, it's slightly limited. You could technically force it because it is on a ball joint, but once again, I don't think Voltron will have a time when he's going to be facing all the way backwards. And now once again, before we go for any articulation, here we have the back section right over here. Nothing too special, and the wings can, you can move the wings up and down if you want to do so. If you want to fold them up, that is also possible. And then for the Black Line, there is a opening chest section here. This is mostly because of the cube transformation. I'm not sure if actually the real Voltron figure actually had such gimmicks, so I'm slightly confused now, but still, that's there. Just wanted to let you know. Now for the arm articulation, like I said, for now it looks nothing. It may look like it's limited articulation, but you can actually pull it out and then go 360 like that. Actually, make sure you're moving the entire shoulder to make sure you don't mess up the position. And with this, you have ton of articulation forward and backward as well. Although, like this, it's definitely going to be awkward. So use this for only like trying to do specific poses. I assume so as well. Now, without that, just 360. Make sure you don't collide with the wing is also possible. And then the arms can go to the side like that. No problem. So 360 like this should be no problem as well. Make sure you don't break off the peg. And then 360 on the lower arm is possible. And despite how it looks, you can actually have a very nice 90-degree bend as well. And I believe backwards is also possible. So technically, if you want to swap positions, it is technically possible as well. And like I said, you do have a bit of a wrist movement with the lion's head, but yeah. Just wanted to point that out as well. So same should be on the other side as well. And then body, there's no ab crunch, but 360 on the body now should be technically almost possible. So 360, I can technically force it, but at this point you're going to be scratching or damaging the plastic. So 360 is not exactly ideal, but 90 degrees to the side is possible, or more than 90 degrees. So that's that. And then for the legs, obviously we have a nice side swivel going on here. Once again, I think they're going to be pretty much using the similar combining type for the upcoming Megazord version as well. I mean, if they actually do go up to the point where they release the Dragon Zord and then combine, that would be dope. But still, that's just my, small, like expectations, but well. Anyway, side swivel is present, and then going to the side 90 degrees is also possible. Going backwards, actually, yeah, you do have a side skirt, which you do have control. Back skirt does also move a bit. Front skirt also does move a bit, so you do have a little bit of control of that. So going to the back, almost 90 degrees is possible. Going forward, 90 degrees is also possible. And bend-wise, now this is kind of tricky, but make sure you bend. Not only don't just move the legs, you have to make sure you're moving the black lion's leg. So bending wise, you actually do get a pretty nice decent bend going on here. So that's really well done for what it is. And then let's see, for leg wise, actually, so currently it may look like flat on the ground like that, but still you can actually pull this out a little bit to extend to get a nice pivot joint as well. So you can do it on both sides to have a little bit more, range on the feet, so you can spread out a little bit instead of being like the old 80s, 90s toys where they can only stand straight like that. So well done. They really did a good job, and I have no doubts that the upcoming Megazord version will be well made as well. Alright, so the only thing left to show is how to connect the weapon. So once again, for this one, for some reason, the old cartoon I saw when I was a young kid, I never seen Voltron use this specific weapon as well. It was always could be that I was more focused on the sword, but yeah. It's definitely an interesting thing, but the way how this connects is that you open the green lion's mouth and there should be a hole there, there's a peg there, and as far as I know, the way how this works is something like this. There we go. So this is the way how you're supposed to use it or something, or the other way around, but you get the general gist of it. Same goes for the sword. You want to connect that's on top of the mouth, not on the bottom one, because if you do connect it on the bottom one, it's going to be held in a very awkward angle as far as I've tested it. So yeah, and then you have the blade. So yeah, they hold very well, and I have no complaints about this. Now, sure, when individual lions itself, there are some tricky parts, mostly the black lion, but still, I have zero complaints about how this figure turned out as well. Now, I can definitely see some complaints regarding the figure, maybe because with the face sculpt being a little bit on the simple side, but once again, I can totally understand why they had to do, I can definitely tell they didn't want to go too much all out just to avoid certain, issues, but still. Yeah, overall I like the concept, and just to give you guys an idea how tall this is, when combined, here is a ruler, so I'm gonna go centimeter wise, so roughly about, this goes about just up to the head is 17 centimeters, so it goes up about to 17 centimeters, so roughly about a bit of a taller HG kit, so taller than a typical HG 1-to-144 kit from Gunpla. But overall size, I'm very satisfied, because just because it's a combiner doesn't mean it has to be like gigantic, it doesn't need to be like the size of a Titan class figure. So sometimes having a small combiner is also pretty fun on its own as well. Anyway, that is pretty much it for the review. So this was a review of the Voltron figure made by Lucky Cat, also known as Micro Elvis, because of certain reasons. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave them comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.